Tashi the lake. Everybody, how are you?
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well. How are you doing, Kimpala?
Good, thank you. Okay. Matthew there, Ben there, Vinicius, and Lindsay, and there's somebody I don't know. Yes, there's no name. Alexander is there. Yeshiteto is there. Okay. Opening with disturbing the slumber of ignorance, which is always good. Okay, it's there. Page 101. Okay, Jason is there. Alexander, right? Then anybody else there? Oh, Brandon and Thomas and Jigme and Shishichatso and Chavila. That must be the Eddie or Jim. Okay. Today is the 24th day. So we got 5 more days on the special qualities of advantages. Okay. Page 101. Kema kehu kalden reke boy mare timo wange manem pan. Sundru ngarke dandai yarlong dai tome dune dala toke ban. Mare wange nel yun de chonge dan he manel kosum gelai. Kega na che dunga mishe samderen zamya tape kokame. Drumlai tindru kebe dulai ba dare jingbo dende runde. Nyomle ngangla debe duma yin chiwai somla drupa tarukel. Tselai lome chiken same chan de tse me tsere dengje matomna. Kebui kene sembe jeje ron che nam dame donjin che dandan. Jumai me ju me lam zonen dan jeze donkere dacha taboro. Chundai chumburo migyoro chumba so sheja jume pechu dejindo. Konde chenam keke shembarenge chenam ranjen kewa me pate. Neme game doe me bao me tema me chen samjend. Dende tombara jawe de la ba. Namo Guru Be, Namo Deva Be, Namo Thake Be. O alas, alas, fortunate child of Buddha nature, do not be oppressed by the forces of ignorance and delusion, but rise up now with resolve and courage. Entranced by ignorance from beginningless time until now, you have had more than enough time to sleep. So do not slumber any longer, but strive after virtue with body, speech, and mind. Are you oblivious to the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death? There is no guarantee that you'll survive even past this very day. The time has come for you to develop perseverance in your practice. For at this singular opportunity, you could attain the everlasting bliss of Buddhahood. So now is certainly not the time to sit idly. But starting with the reflection on death, you should bring your practice to completion. The moments of our life are not expendable, and the possible circumstances of death are beyond imagination. If you do not achieve an undaunted confident security now, what point is there in your being alive, O fortunate being? All phenomena are selfless, empty, and free from conceptual elaboration. In their dynamic, they resemble an illusion, mirage, dream, or reflected image. A Gandharva city, an echo, a reflection of the moon in water, a bubble, an optical illusion, or an intangible emanation. You should know that all things of cyclic existence and nirvana accord in nature with these 10 similes of illusory phenomena. All phenomena are naturally unborn. They neither abide nor cease, neither come nor go. They are without objective referent or characteristics, ineffable and free from thought. The time has come for these truths to be realized. Homage to the Lama, homage to the Idam, homage to the Dakini. Namo Guru Be, Namo Deva Be, Namo Dhake Be. Alexander, your hands reverse, isn't it? You do first. Press with your right hand, your right nostril. Yes. Breathe in through your left. Press your left nostril and breathe out through your right. Okay. Now with your left, press your left nostril. Breathe in through your right. Then breathe out through your left. Lindsay, your hands reverse too. Use your right hand. Press your right nostril. Right hand. Right and your right. Yes, there you go. Breathe in through your left. Ben, Matthew, I think Matthew, you've got your hands. And then breathe out through your left.
Sorry, I'm just ahead of you.
Unless your camera is reversed, so. Okay. Breathe in through your left. Sorry, breathe in through your right and then breathe out through your left. Okay, now through both your nostrils. Press this joint really hard. Then breathe in. Then hold your breath for a while. Breathe in first and fill your belly. Let go. So just to, clarify, and always remember, we want to breathe out no matter our gender. We have to make sure that we breathe out first through our right nostril. So therefore we need to plug our right nostril and then breathe through your left nostril so that you feel. And then you plug your left nostril and then you can breathe out. Once you get used to breathing, and when you have mastered the channels independently, then you don't really have to plug this one, and you can just plug when you're breathing in like that, and then kind of loosen, and then you can kind of breathe out like that. You don't have to go like this. For now, in the beginning, you just kind of have to do like so. Make sure the first breathing in is through your left, and then breathing out is through your right. So if you breathe out through your right nostril the first time, then the entire day activity will be free from obstacles. Sometimes you will feel that when you wake up, that your right nostril is kind of blocked. That means you have to cleanse, you have to kind of open your right nostril. Usually, what they will do is, because you have to press like here, then you go back to sleep once again, like that, under your armpit, like that. Go back to sleep, and then that way your right nostril will be open. So make sure that you're doing it right. And also, in the tradition, you can just do the first round breathing with just the breathing in through your left and then breathing out through your right. 1, 2, 3, like that. So 3 independently on one side. Now you reverse your hand, you breathe in. 1, 2, 3, like that. So now you did 3 first right, 3 second left, 3, and then third is just the same. So it's like that. You can do that one too. Now, blessing this speech. Om. Fire rising from Ram syllable consumes my tongue, transforming it into a 3-pronged Vajra of red light. In its center are the vowels and consonants, surrounded by the mantra, the essence of interdependent origination. From these syllables, like a string of pearls, Light rays stream out, making offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, pleasing them. As these rays return, all obscurations of my speech are purified, and I receive all the blessings and siddhis of Vajra speech. A a I I U re re le le e I O A Wa Nga Ha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa 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 ma. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya vadata. Deshan cha yo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o awanga. Ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa 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 ma. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya vadata. Deshan cha yo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le. E I o awanga ha ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba ma yara lava shasa saha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya vadata deshan jayo nirodha. Evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o awangaha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya vadata. Teshan cha yo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o angha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba ma. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tata gato haya vadata. Teshan cha yo nirodha evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o awangaha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa 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 ma. Yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tata gato haya vadata. Teshan cha yo nirodha evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I u re re le le e I o angaha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na. Pa 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 ma yara lava shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya vadata. Deshan cha yo nirodha evam vadi mahashramana swaha. Then the Vajra recitation. Then the mantra, page number N with the green border. Om Sambhara Sambhara. Om Sambhara Sambhara Vimana Sara Mahazambahu. 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 Back to Angondro. Calling the Lama from afar, page 13. Lama ke Lama ke Lama ke Nyingthig sarashe pane chapche denche lama yar la le dan mo dampe zirwaye kewang pa dala chopeche Chiwara de chen kole jendo jo dendai she jen kuncha shen so O Lama, please think of me. O Lama, please think of me. O Lama, please think of me. From the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, arise, O kind Lama, my only refuge. In order to protect me, the miserable unfortunate one, who is overwhelmingly tormented by karma and mental affliction, I pray that you remain as the jewel ornament on the crown chakra of great bliss, arousing all of my mindfulness and awareness. The zon sangye tham jiging o kuje dani palden lama dambala sewa de so dala wanguru jinge labdo sal sablam ge tomba ke parachen jula ke wara jinge labdo sa kada nelo ke dawa dobara jinge labdo sal rundro nanje yeshe tarchen bara jinge labdo sal. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four Kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. Once again, check your motivation and then cultivate the altruistic bodhicitta, thinking to bring all motherly sentient beings freed from the state of suffering and sorrow of samsara, aimed through great compassion, and then to establish them to the state of perfect and complete precious Buddhahood, aimed through wisdom. In order to do so, then I will engage in the ngandro of the hot essence of the vast expanse, and then also engage myself in the 100-day mind training retreat. Okay, page 17. Now I am free from the hell, preta, or animal realms, long-living gods, born in barbaric land or being a wrong view holder, born in a period when Buddha has not appeared, or being mentally dumb. I have obtained freedom from these 8 unfree states. Born a human being with all my senses intact and in a centered land, with a lifestyle not harmful or wrong, and with faith in the Buddha's teachings. These 5 personal endowments are complete. A Buddha has appeared, has taught the Dharma, it is existing, I follow it, and a sublime teacher has accepted me. I have thus the 5 circumstantial endowment. Although I am in a position where I have every one of them, once this life so fraught with uncertainty is relinquished, I will go on to yet another realm of existence. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. If I do not use the opportunity this present freedom offers, I will not find such a basis for attaining liberation later on. Once the merit that provided this happy existence is exhausted, I will wander after death as an unfortunate being in the miserable realms. Not knowing virtue from non-virtue, I will never hear a word of Dharma, nor meet a spiritual teacher, a terrible disaster. If we reflect on the numbers and kinds of sentient beings, we understand just how slim is the chance of gaining a human body. When we see even human beings devoid of Dharma engaging in negativity, we realize those who act according to Dharma are just like the daytime star. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Even though it is like reaching a jewel island, attaining this human body, a fickle and impetuous mind in such a promising basis makes it an unsuitable support for attaining liberation, especially when possessed by negative influences or with the 5 poisons raging inside, or when negative karma befalls me or I am distracted by laziness. or when a slave under someone else's control, or turning to Dharma simply out of insecurity or fear, or merely pretending to practice, or when deluded and stupid. These are the 8 intrusive circumstances that make Dharma impossible. When these come upon me, opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Lacking both revulsion and the jewel of devotion, caught in the bond of desire and cravings with crude degenerate behavior, never holding back from negative harmful actions and engaging in the 5 inexpiable acts, with vows completely broken and samaya torn to shreds. These are the 8 propensities where mind is cut off from the Dharma. When these come upon me, opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. At this moment, I am not inflicted by sickness or pain, nor am I a slave or such under another's control. So now, when I have this perfect auspicious quality of total independence, if I waste the freedom of this human life through my own indolence, not to mention parting from my companions, possessions, relatives, and loved ones, even this body that I hold so dear will be carried out alone from its bed to some desolate spot, to be torn to pieces by foxes, vultures, and dogs. Then in Bardo there will be even greater terror. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. The results of virtuous and non-virtuous actions will follow accordingly, especially if I am born in the hell realms. On the ground of burning iron, my head and body will be hacked with weapons. I will be ripped apart with saws and crushed with red-hot hammers. Trapped in a doorless iron cell, screaming out loud, I will be impaled on red-hot spikes, boiled in molten lava, and burned in the fire of intense heat in these 8 classifications of the hot hells. On the crests of snow mountains, on precipices of ice, terrifying places engulfed by squalls and blizzards of snow, my tender body, lashed by freezing winds, will break out in blisters, bursting out in festering sores, in a ceaseless wail of agonized screams, and suffering difficult to even think about, like a sick person at death whose strength is completely gone. I'll let out deep gasps and groans, my teeth clench, my skin cracking open, and my exposed raw flesh will split deeper and will split yet again in this 8 classification of the cold hells. Similarly, my feet will be sliced into ribbons on the plane of razors. In the forest of swords, my body will be gashed and chopped. I will sink in the swamp of putrefying corpses and the pit of hot embers, tormenting in the changing hell, in the hell neighboring the ultimate torment. Born indoors, pillars, fireplaces, ropes, and the like, always made use of and exploited in the ephemeral hells. When thoughts of intense hatred and aggression arise, which are the causes of being born in any of the 18 hells, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Likewise, in the grim and destitute realm, where the words food, drinks, or comfort have never been heard, the preta find nothing to eat or drink for months and years on end. Their bodies are emaciated and they lack even the strength to stand. They suffer from 3 different kinds of obscurations. The reason for being born in such a birth is greed, in constant dread of being killed and eaten by one another, exploited and worked until exhaustion, bewildered as what to do or not to do. Animals are oppressed by limitless suffering, the seed of which is stubborn stupidity, When I wander into this darkness, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Though I have entered the path of Dharma, I haven't put a stop to my mistaken behavior. Though I have entered the door of the Mahayana, I am devoid of any benefiting thoughts for others. Though I have received the four empowerments, I do not practice the generation and completion stages of meditation. O Lama, free me from straying from the path. Though I have not realized the view, I act as if I were crazed. Though distracted in my meditation, I boast about my understanding. Though my actions are at fault, I do not reflect upon my mistakes. O Lama, free me from becoming such a jaded practitioner. Though I may die tomorrow, I am full of craving for home, clothes, and possession. Though my youth has passed, I lack reversion and renunciation. Though I have heard only a few Dharma teachings, I arrogantly presume that I have qualities. O Lama, free me from such ignorance. Though headed toward disaster, I am preoccupied in distraction, roaming the world. Though I stay in solitary retreats, my basic character remains as hard as wood. Though I speak of morality, I haven't abandoned my attachment and aversion. O Lama, free me from the 8 worldly concerns. Quickly rouse me from this deep sleep of ignorance. Quickly free me from this dungeon. And then bring in mind the refuge tree, the refuge field assembly. And then visualize that you, along with all motherly sentient beings, take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha from the bottom of our hearts. And then we go for refuge. Kunjo sumye deshe zawa sum zalung tegle ranjen jangcho sem. Ngowo ranjen tuje kyo korola. Jangcho nyingpo bardo japso che. Kunjo sumye deshe zawa sum Zalun tegle ranjen jangcho sem. Ngo ranjen tuje kel korola. Jangcho nyingbo bardo japso che. Kuncho sumye deshe zawa sum. Zalun tegle ranjen jangcho sem. Ngo ranjen tuje kyo korola. Changchu ningpo bardo jamso che. In the actual 3 jewels, the 3 root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual 3 jewels, the 3 root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual 3 jewels, the 3 root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. Again, in the presence of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the Lamas of the root and lineage, bearing witness, then we cultivate bodhicitta. Ho no tso no wa chunde zinre ke, korwa lugu judo chambendro, Rang Rive Se Ying Suing El Secher, Tseme She Yang Ang Ne Sem Ke Do. Ho Na Tso Na Wa Chu De Jin Re Ke, Korwa Lu Gu Ju Do Cham Ben Ro. Rang Rive Se Ying Suing El Secher, Tseme She Yang Ang Ne Sem Ke Do. Ho na tso na wa chu de jin re ke, korwa lu gu ju do cham ben ru, rang re we se yin so ngel se che, tse me je yen ane sem ke do. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water. Beings grasping it as real wander continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water. Beings grasping it as real wander continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water. Beings grasping it as real wander continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. And here do brief tonglen, giving and taking. And then finally, all sentient beings dissolve into the refuge field. All of the refuge deities dissolve into Guru Rinpoche. And then finally, Guru Rinpoche dissolves into Dharmakaya, basic space. And then you rest in the state non conceptually for a while. Okay, now then you visualize that you are in your own ordinary form. Then in the crown of your head, there's a white lotus with the moon disk, and on top of the moon disk is a Vajra, Hung Sit syllable. That Hung Sit, sorry, not Vajra, Hung Sit syllable radiates out light to the 10 directions, making offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then further, that light from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are drawn or reabsorbed into the Hung Sit syllable and immediately Instantaneously, Hung turns into Lama Vajrasattva. Ah, in my ordinary form, above the crown of my head, on a white lotus in the center of a moon-disk seed, is the syllable Hung, which becomes the Lama Vajrasattva. Brilliantly white with complete Sambhoga Kaya adornments. Holding Vajra and bell, he embraces his consort, Dorjin and Ma. I take refuge in you and pray that you purify all my negativities. With deepest regret, I acknowledge and confess them. From now on, even if my life is at stake, I shall vow to refrain from repeating them again. In your heart, upon a full moon, is the syllable Hung, encircled by the mantra. Reciting the mantra invokes your wisdom mind, and from the point of union of Yab and Yum's blissful play, clouds of bodhicitta nectar flow down like drops of camphor. By means of these, for me and all sentient beings of the three realms, may our negative karma and destructive emotions, the causes of suffering, illnesses, harmful influences, negativities, and obscurations, along with false downfalls and defilements due to breakages of samaya, be purified completely until not a single one remains. Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Mano Palaya Vajra Sattva Teno Patishtadirdo Meba. Sudokayom me bhava subokayom me bhava anorato me bhava sarva siddhi me prayasa. Sarva karma sutta me citam shiryam kuru hung ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sarva tathagata vajrama me munja vajri bhava maha samaya sato aom vajra sato samaya manupala. Vajra sattva teno patishta dhridom me bhava sudokayom me bhava subokayom me. Anurakto mehbhava sarva siddhi me prayasa sarva karma sutta me citam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sarva tata gata vajrama me munja vajri bhava maha samaya sattva. Om vajra sattva samaya mano palaya vajra sattva teno patishta dhridom me bhava sudokayam me. Subokayam me bhava anurakto me bhava sarva siddhi me prayasa sarva karma sutta Citam Shiryam Guru Hung Ha 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 Om Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata. Banjar Mame Munja Banjari Bhava Maha Samaya Sato. So while doing Vajra Sattva meditation, we have to bring in our mind these four powers of purification. First of all, remorse in whatever we did, acknowledging that we were mistaken, and then we regret in the karma or in the causes and result. It is mentioned that there are actions which are called what is that term, how it kind of the engaging action, and then the other one is called the completing action. So even if our engaging, appearing actions were negative, but if we now regret having done all of those, then we complete with positive actions. It's called completing with positive actions. Then we can purify them like that. And then further bringing in mind like the vow, the commitment that we'll not engage in negativities, even at the cost of our life, and then making them firm vow, that one. And then using the antidote that is Vajra, visualizing Vajra Sattva through the recitation of the 100-syllable mantra and descending the nectar from the Vajra Sattva and cleansing that. And then, and what is the other one? Jason Tapo, Shakdam, and then that we need to, the mind that we want to purify them. So these are the four power. So we need to think like that when we are doing Vajrasattva, not just kind of letting our time kind of pass or mindlessly doing Vajrasattva. And if we do that, then we'll get into our old habit. Then our practice just remains, it gets into that old habit, and then it will be hard for us to become good practitioners. So always remember that whenever we do any practice within these phases of our practice or in our wandro, that bring that wholehearted intention. And then when we are taking refuge, understanding the nature of suffering, when we are cultivating bodhicitta, understanding all sentient beings as our parents, and then likewise when we are doing Vajrasattva, bringing in mind the four powers of purification like that. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Teno Patishta Drido Mebhava Sudokaya Mebhava Subokaya Mebhava Anurakto Mebhava Sarva Siddhi Meprayasa Sarva Karma Sutame Citam Shiryam Kuruhu Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramamya Manza Vajri Bhava Maha Samaya Sattva Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Teno Patishta Drido Mebhava Sudokaya Mebhava Subhokaya me bhava anurato me bhava sarva siddhi me prayasa sarva karma sutame Siddham shiryam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tathagata Vajrama me munza vajri bhava maha samaya sato ahum pe. Page 47. O protector, in my ignorance and delusion, I have gone against and impaired my samayas. Lama protector, be my refuge. Chief of all the mandalas, Vajra holder, embodiment of great compassion, chief of all beings, in you I take refuge. I confess all broken and root and branch samayas of body, speech, and mind. I pray that you cleanse and purify all my accumulated negativities, obscurations, faults, downfalls, and defilements. Vajrasattva is pleased and smilingly says, Noble child, all of your negative actions, obscurations, faults, and downfalls are purified. Granting his approval, he melts into light, and by dissolving into me, I become Vajrasattva, appearing yet empty like a reflection in a mirror. At my heart is the syllable Hung, around which the four brilliantly radiant syllables emanate rays of light, whereby the three worlds, the whole universe, and the beings within it attain Buddhahood together as the Buddha fields and the Buddhas of the five families of Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva. 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 Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva. 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 Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Vajrasattva, Om Banda Santo, Om Banda Santo, Om Banda Santo, Om Banda Santo, Om Banda Santo. Om Banda Santo. Then finally, our self-visualizing and as Vajra Sattva, and in our heart, the 6 syllables. Vajra Sattva dissolves into the heart syllables of the Om Vajra Sattva, and Sattva dissolves into Hung, Hung dissolves upward like that, and then finally dissolves into basic space tracelessly, and then you remain in that state for a while. Okay, now the Mandala Offering. Om the billion pure realms of the 3,000-fold world system, filled with the 7 precious gems and the wealth of gods and humans. Together with my body and possession, I offer them totally. May I attain the dominion of the universal ruler of Dharma. The Kanishta pure realm densely arrayed with great bliss. The mandalas of the 5 certainties of the 5 Buddha families, along with inconceivable vast clouds of offerings of every variety of sensual pleasures I offer. May I emanate in the Sambhoga Kaya Buddha field. The world of appearance and possibilities, perfectly pure, is the youthful vase body, ornamented by unceasing great compassion, the display of Dharmata. The perfect and pure realm of indivisible wisdom bodies I offer. May I manifest in the pure realm of Dharmakaya. The earth's surface sprinkled with perfumed water and strewn with flowers, and adorned with Mount Sumeru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon, is visualized as a Buddha field I offer. May all beings enjoy in the pure realm of perfect purity. Tram Guru Radha Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Aho. Saji Bichu Juju Medo Dramra Rabling Jini De Gembadi Sange Jingdo Mikdekala. Drogun Namda Jinla Jabarasho Tram Guru Radha Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye Aho. Kusali, page 59. By my casting away all attachment to this dearly cherished body, the Devaputra Mara is destroyed. My consciousness ejects into space through the top of my crown and transforms into tremor, destroying the Mara of the Lord of Death. My right hand holding a hook knife symbolizing vanquishing the Mara of mental afflictions, slices the top of the corpse's skull, destroying the Mara of the aggregates. My left hand holds a skull cup, the aspect of activity, and places it on a hearth of 3 human skulls, representing the 3 kayas. Inside the vessel, the corpse, now an offering filling the 3,000-fold world system. The blazing syllable melts the hung nectar, and the offerings are purified, multiplied, and transformed by the power of the 3 syllables. Om Ahum, 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 Ahum. Om Ahum, 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 Ahum. By my offering to guests above, the sublime unconditioned wisdom mind of the root and lineage lamas and the idams are fulfilled. Merit and wisdom are accumulated, and supreme and ordinary siddhis are attained. By my offering to the guests of samsara below, they are satisfied and karmic debts are repaid. In particular, the malicious ones and negative forces are satisfied. All illnesses, destructive influences, and obstacles are pacified, dissolving into space. Harmful conditions and clinging to self are destroyed into dust. Finally, offering, offer, and guests dissolve uncontrived into the original nature of Zopa Chembo. Ah. Okay. Page 65, Guru Yoga. Emaho. My own perception is the spontaneously perfect, all encompassing pure Ram, arrayed perfectly as the glorious copper colored mountain. In its center, I am Vajra Yogini with one face and two hands, brilliantly red and holding a hook knife and skull cup. My 2 feet are in advancing pose, my 3 eyes gazing into the sky. Above the crown of my head on 100,000 petal lotus, sun and moon seed. Inseparable from my own root Lama, the embodiment of all sources of refuge, appears the Nirmana Kaya lake-bound Vajra. His body glows with youth, white with a tinge of red. He wears a gown, monastic shawl, cloak, and robe, with one face, two hands, and seated in a majestic posture. In his right hand he holds a Vajra, in his left a skull cup containing the vase of immortality, and on his head he wears the 5 petal lotus crown. In the crook of his left elbow he holds the supreme consort of bliss and emptiness, concealed as a 3-pronged Khatvanga. He presides amidst a shimmering aura of rays and rings of rainbow light. All around him, enveloped in a beautiful lattice of white, blue, yellow, red, and green light, are the 25 disciples, king and subjects, Panditas and Siddhas of India and Tibet, Rigzins and Idam deities, Dakinis, Dharmapalas, and protectors, who keep the Samaya all gathered like billowing clouds, vividly and distinctly visualized in the great equanimity of clarity and emptiness. Hong Gen Yugi Nubjan Pema Gesen Dombo La Yazen Shogin Odrone Pema June Sheso Da Kordo Kandro Mambe Koro Keke Jeso Da Rubje Jinge Lobshe Shakso Sen Guru Pema Sede Hong Ujen Yugi Nubjan Pema Gesen Dombo Yazen choge ngodrone pema jone sheso da kodo kandro mambe. Kege jeso da drupje jinge lopche shakso sen guru pema sede hong. Hong ujen yoge nobjang san pema ge saradongbo la yazen choge ngodrone. Pema jone sheso da kodo kandro mambe koro kege jeso da drupje. Jinge lobche shakso sen guru pema sende hong. Now the 7 branches, page 71. Free, call to the number of atoms in the universe. I multiply my body and offer prostrations. Through the power of Samadhi, both real offerings and those mentally emanated, all appearances and possibilities are presented as the gesture offering. All non-virtuous karma of my body, speech, and mind are confessed in the luminous state of Dharmakaya. I rejoice in the accumulation of all virtue contained within the true truths. For the 3 types of beings to be tamed, I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma of the 3 yanas. Until samsara is emptied, I pray that you remain without passing into nirvana. All the roots of virtue accumulated in the 3 times I dedicate as the cause for attaining Supreme Buddhahood. The supplication, page 74. O Guru Rinpoche, precious Lama, you are the glorious embodiment of the compassion and blessings of all the Buddhas, the only protector of all sentient beings. My body, wealth, lungs, heart, and chest I offer to you without hesitation. From now until I attain Buddhahood, in happiness or sorrow, in circumstances good or bad, in situations high or low, Great precious Lama, lotus born, think of me. I have no one else to turn to. The beings of these degenerate times are sinking in the swamp of unbearable suffering. Protect us from all of these, O great Guru. Grant us the four empowerments, O Blessed One. Deepen our realization, O Compassionate One. Purify the two obscurations, O Powerful One. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Sindhi Om. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Sindhi Om Ahum Benza Guru. Om Ahum Benza Guru. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Sindhi. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Sindhi. Om Ahum Benza. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Sindhi. 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 Page 77. Emaho, from within the pure realms, free from falling into limitations and extremes. The primordial Buddha Dharmakaya Kundu Sangbo, Vajra Sattva, the Sambhoga Kaya manifesting display like the moon in water, and Garabdoji, perfect with the marks of Nirvana Kaya. To you I pray, please grant blessings and empowerments. Shri Singha, treasury of the ultimate Dharma, Jambal Shenan, universal monarch of the nine yanas, Janana Sutra, and the great Pandita Vimala Mitra. To you I pray, please show the path of liberation. Pema Jungne, sole ornament of the world, the supreme wisdom heart disciples, King Trisong Detsen, Consort Yeshe Sogel, and retinue Vairochana and others. Venerable Longchen Ba, who revealed the symbol of an ocean of wisdom mind treasures. Jigme Lingpa, entrusted with the transmission of the space treasury of the Dakinis. To you I pray, please grant liberation and fruition. Dodru Tunde was Jigme Galway Nyugo, Paturumbuche, Jamyang Kenze Wambo, not all rounder, Kenze Choki Lotre, Kenze User, and the incomparably kind Root Lama. To you I pray, please show the original face of my true nature. With renunciation being disgusted with cyclic existence, may I meaningfully depend upon my Vajra Lama as though he were my eyes. Following his instruction to the letter and taking to heart the profound practices he gives, and applying them with constant diligence, not just now and then, may the blessing of his realized wisdom mind be transferred into my own. All appearances and possibilities, samsara and nirvana, are primordially Dakanishta puram, which is the result of purifying, ripening, and perfecting of deities, mantra, and dharmakaya. This is Dzogpa Chenpo, free of any action and effort of abandoning and adopting. Rigpa's dynamic radiance, which is beyond conceptual analysis and dualistic experience. May I see the actual unclad dharmata. The conceptual characteristics perfectly liberated are the encompassing sphere of rainbows and light. I don't think we need that there. Conceptual characteristics is fine there. Conceptual characteristics perfectly liberated are the encompassing sphere of rainbows and lights. The experiences of Kaya's and Tiglay's supremely blossoming and achieving the full measure of Rigpa's power, the pure realms of Sambhoga Kaya, and attaining Buddhahood in the great consummate suchness of phenomena beyond concepts. May I accomplish the everlasting dominion of the youthful vase body. If I am unable to experience the realization of Ati Yoga, and this physical body is not liberated into the pure excellence, then when the formative constituents of this life fall apart, may the luminosity of death arise as the primordially pure Dharmakaya. May the appearances of the Bardo be liberated into Sambhogakaya. Perfecting the power of the path of Trekchö and Tegel, may I be liberated like a child returning to its mother's lap. In the great secret luminosity, the summit of the supreme vehicle, Buddha is nowhere sought but in the face of Dharmakaya. If I am not liberated into the manifested primordial ground, then relying on the supreme path of the five teachings on Buddhahood without meditation, may I be born in the five natural pure realms of Nirmanakaya, especially in the palace of Lotus Light Pure Realm, then in the presence of the Lord of Ujjain, the supreme sovereign of the ocean of Vidyadharas, in the place where there is the joyous celebration of the teachings of the supreme secret mantra, let me be born as the supreme heir and be liberated. May I become the guardian of limitless ancient beings. Through the blessings of the ocean of the victorious Rigzins, through the inconceivable truth of the Dharma Dhatu, through this freedom and endowed human body, training and purifying, ripening and perfecting, manifest the interdependence and attain Buddhahood. From the letter Om, radiant like a crystal at the Lama's forehead, rays of light stream forth and enter my forehead, purifying negative actions of the body and obscurations of the channels. The blessing of Vajra body is infused, the vase empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the generation stage. The seed of the completely matured Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Nirmana Kaya is established within my mind. From the letter R, blazing like a ruby at the Lama's throat, rays of light stream forth and enter my throat, purifying negative actions of the speech and obscurations of the inner wind. The blessing of Vajra speech is infused. The secret empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the practice of mantra recitation. The seed of the Rigzin with power over life is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Sambhogakaya is established within my mind. From the sky-colored letter hung at the Lama's heart, rays of light stream forth and enter my heart, purifying negative actions of the mind and obscurations of the essence. The blessing of Vajra mind is infused. The wisdom empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Chandali practice of bliss and emptiness. The seed of the Mahamudra Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Dharmakaya is established within my mind. Once more from the letter hung at the Lama's heart, a second hung streaks out like a shooting star, merging inseparably with my mind, purifying the karma of the all-ground and conceptual obscurations. The blessing of Vajra wisdom is infused. The ultimate symbolizing word empowerment is received, and I become the receptive vessel for the Dzogchen of original purity. The seed of the spontaneously accomplished risen is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Savabhavika Kaya, the final fruition, is established within my mind. Okay. Now our mind training. So once again, please sit in a nice posture. Page 116. So you can expel the stale wind 3 times, just through both your breathe in through both your nostrils. Like that. And then our intention here is I shall meditate on the difficulty of finding the freedoms and advantages so that all sentient beings can be free from suffering and its cause and attain perfect Buddhahood. Okay, page 106. So at this time, you supplicate to the Guru, and then you receive the 4 empowerments and then merge inseparably with the Guru's wisdom mind, and then you can engage in this one. So page 106. With these freedoms and advantages so hard to find, a person can attain enlightenment. If one does not take advantage of them now, how will one so well obtain them in the future? And then page 109. To the Master and Buddhas, guardian of wandering beings, who labor for the goods of all that lives, good of all that lives, those mighty ones who scatter every fear, from this day forth I go for refuge. In the Dhamma that resides within their hearts, that scatter all the terrors of samsara, and in the multitude of bodhisattvas, likewise I perfectly take refuge. Gripped by dread, beside myself with terror, to Samantabhadra I will give myself, and to Manjushri the melodious and gentle, I entrust myself entirely. To him whose loving deeds are steadfast, O my guardian Avalokita, I cry out from depths of misery, protect me now, who am so full of negative karma. Now to the noble one Akasha Garbha and to Chiti Garbha, from my heart I call, and all protectors great and compassionate, to them I go in search of refuge. And to Vajrapani, holder of the diamond, the very sight of whom will rout all dangers like the deadly host of Yama. To him indeed I fly for safety. Formerly your words I have transgressed, but now I see these terrors all around. To you indeed I come for help, and pray you swiftly save me from this fear. Courageous one, you who possess the power of compassion, linked as we are by the force of karmic connections from the past, Do not linger uncaring, neither neglect me, nor remain idle. Look on me now with heartfelt love, compassionate Lord of Buddhas. Woe is me, compassionate three jewels, victorious ones whose minds are full of love. On us who suffer in samsara six realms, bestow your blessings now and make us free. Page 117. Venerable teachers whose compassion is infinite and unconditional, I prostrate myself before you all. Conquerors of the mind lineage, Vidyadharas of the symbol lineage, most fortunate of ordinary beings who, guided by the enlightened ones, have attained the twofold goal. Teachers of the three lineages, I prostrate myself before you. In the expanse where all phenomena come to exhaustion, you encountered the wisdom of Dharmakaya. In the clear light of empty space, you saw Sambhogakaya Buddha fields appear. To work for beings' benefit, you appeared to them in Nirmanakaya form. Omniscient sovereign of Dharma, I prostrate myself before you. In your wisdom, you saw the true nature of whatever can be known. The light of your love beamed benefit upon all beings. You elucidate the teachings of the profound path, the summit of all vehicles. Rigzinjig Milingpa, I prostrate myself before you. You were Lord Avalokiteshvara himself in the form of a spiritual friend. Whoever heard you speak was established on the path to freedom. To fulfill all beings' needs, your activity was infinite. Gracious root teacher, I prostrate myself before you. I'll go to the other insert with the green border. Page G. You trained in supreme bodhicitta by caring for others more than yourself. You realized samsara and nirvana as non-dual by perfecting the generation and completion practice. You culminated the wisdom realization of the consummate phenomena of Dharmakaya. Tembe Nima, at your feet I supplicate. Vajrasattva, the Lord Protector, embodiment of the victorious ones of the three times, manifesting the magical wisdom dance as Vimala Mitra, is the inseparable wisdom holder Ngaki Wangpo. I supplicate you, grant me the absolute wisdom realization. By the Supreme Lamas as a regent, you were empowered and prophesied to perform impartial benefit for others. A Dzogchen hidden yogi who abandoned everything, Sangye Dorje, at your feet I supplicate. So, supplicating in this way, then from the Lama's body, speech, and mind, and inseparably from the body, speech, and mind, light radiate out. You receive the blessings of the Vajra body, Vajra speech, Vajra mind, and Vajra wisdom. And then you receive the four empowerments. And then your body, speech, and mind, and your awareness has been empowered. And then the seed of, then you have now created the connection to bring forth the practice, the attainment of the wisdom, four wisdom holders. And then the seed of the attainment of the four kayas are planted in your being like that. So, and then finally merge your mind inseparably with the wisdom mind of the Lama. And then in that recognition or awareness, then you can do now the mind training. You can read about 40 minutes. So 20 minutes of reading and 20 minutes of placement meditation, or whichever you want to do. So Okay. Now page 119. 119. The Wonder text, page 119. Dawa Topchan Ningbo Chiki Chegoro Shuchan Demin Chepe Dadan Dadra Mombe Semche Nam Deljo Ningbo Lembara Jingelo. Although I have won these freedoms, I am poor in Dharma, which is their essence. Although I have entered the Dharma, I am distracted doing other things. Bless me and those foolish beings like me, that we may attain the very essence of the freedoms and advantages. Okay, then now our refuge prayers. Bring in mind the refuge field and then generate, the notion or the intention that you're sincerely taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha along with all sentient beings. Lama la japsu che wo, Sangha la japsu che wo, Chilla japsu che wo, Genden la japsu che wo, Lama la japsu che wo, Sangha la japsu che wo, Chilla japsu che wo, Genden la japsu che wo, Lama la japsu che wo, Sangha la japsu che wo, Chilla japsu che wo, Genden la japsu che wo. Lama la japsu che, Sangha la japsu che, Chilla japsu che, Genden la japsu che, Lama la japsu che, Sangha la japsu che, Chilla japsu che, Genden la japsu che, Lama la japsu che, Sangha la japsu che, Chilla japsu che, Genden la japsu che, Lama la japsu che, Sangha la japsu che, Chilla japsu che, Genden la Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu. Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu. Sangha la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu. Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu. Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden Lama japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha Lama japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu. Lama japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu, Sangha la japsu, Chilla japsu, Genden la japsu, Lama la japsu. Lam jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam le jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam le jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam le jam so sang le jam so chen la jam lam jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam le jam so sang le jam so chen la jam so gen jam so lam le jam so sang chen la jam so gen jam so lam le jam so sang le jam so chen Lama Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla 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 Jamso Sang Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lamla Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam 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 Jamso Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal 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 Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso 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 Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal 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 Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal 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 Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso 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 Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso 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 Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal 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 Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso Lam Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal 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 Jamso Lam Jamso Sang Lam Jamso Sang Jamso Chenla Jamso Gendal Jamso 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 Lam Jamso Sang Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda Jabsa 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 Lama Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda Jabsa 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 Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda Jabsa 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 Lama Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda Jabsa 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 Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Jabsa Genda 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 Jabsa Lama Jabsa Sang Jabsa Chala Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chana Jasa Genda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chana Jasa Genda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chana Chala Chala Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Genda Sang Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Genda Jasa 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 Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Chala Chala Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Sang 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 Jasa Chala Chala Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Chala Genda 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 Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Chala Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa 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 Genda Jasa Lama Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chala Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa San Jasa Chala Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala 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 Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge. Challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Jota Longchen to sign just a challenge. Longchen to sign just a challenge of the in the Lama Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lama Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Lama Jasa Lama Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the 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 Jasa Lama Jasa Sanjasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lama 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 Jasa Sanjasa Lama Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lama Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lama Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lama Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Lama Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa 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 Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the 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 Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sanjasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge of the Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sanjasa Challenge Lama Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Janda 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 Lama Jasa San Jasa Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Lam Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chala Janda Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chala Janda Ganda Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Chala Janda Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chala Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Challenge Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge something in the Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang 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 Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa 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 Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa 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 Chala Jatsa Ginda Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda 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 Jatsa Lam Jatsa Sang Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Lam Jatsa Sang Jatsa Chala Jatsa Ginda Jatsa 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 Lam Jatsa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San 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 Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Nam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam 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 Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda 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 Jasa Lam Jasa San Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa 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 Lam Jasa San Jasa Chana Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa 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 Chana Jasa Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San J Chana Josegin, Josalam, Josan, Josa, Chana Josegin, Josalam, Josan, Josa, Chana Josegin, Josalam, Josan, Chana Josegin, Josalam, Josan, Josa, 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 Chana Josegin. Lam Jasa San Jasa Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata 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 Chala Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata 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 Lam Jata San Jata Chala Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Lam Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the 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 Jata Lam Jata Chala Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the 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 Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the 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 Jata Lam Jata San Jata Lam Jata San Jata Chala Jatagin the 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 Jata Lam Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San 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 Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata San Jata 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 Chala Lam San Jata Chala Jatagin the Jata Lam Jata 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 San Jata Chala Jatagin Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge Lam Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Lam Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge Lam Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Lama Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Lam Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Lama Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Lama Johnson Lam Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of the Ginder Johnson Lama Johnson Song Johnson Challenge of Longchen Sangchen Challenge Gende 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 Longchen Longchen Sangchen Challenge Gende 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 Longchen Sangchen Challenge Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Chan Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang 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 Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan 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 Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa 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 Chan Chan Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sang Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Chan Chan Tingen Jasa Lam Jasa Sang 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 Jasa Chan Chan
Kenjo sumye deje zawan sum zalon tingle ranjen jancho senho ranjen tuje gelkon la jancho ningbo bando jamsun. Kenjo sumye deje zawan sum zalon tingle ranjen jancho senho ranjen tuje gelkon la jancho ningbo bando jamsun. Kenjo sumye deje zawan sum zalon tingle ranjen jancho senho ranjen tuje gelkon la in the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel wind and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel wind and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In dedication. Gewadiye Nildon Dai Genjo Sumbo Drupjone Druwa Chikjamale Bandiye Sala Gwembara Sho. Through the merit of this practice, may I swiftly accomplish the three jewels and establish every sentient being without exception on their level. Page 89. When my life is at its end, my perception of glorious copper-colored mountain, the pure ram of Mayab, indivisible from Nirmana Kaya's pure ram, and my body Vajra Yogini, is transformed into a radiant, brilliant sphere of light. Merging inseparably with Jitsun Pema Jone, I attain Buddhahood. Then, from the display of vast primordial wisdom, the miraculous manifestation of bliss and emptiness, for every single being in the three realms, let me appear as their supreme guide. Jitsen Pema, grant this so I pray. I pray to you from the bottom of my heart. These are not just empty words. I pray that you grant your blessings from the expanse of your wisdom mind and cause all my aspirations to be fulfilled. From the heart center of the Lama, a beam of light, red and warm, suddenly appears, and with myself visualized as Dorjin Jorma, it touches my heart, and I'm instantaneously transformed into a sphere of red light, which dissolves into Guru Rinpoche's heart, and I become inseparable with him in one day. Palden Sawe Lama Rinpoche Dage Ningare Peme Denjo La Kadin Chembo Gune Jezonde Kuzon Tuking Edro Zendo Se Palden Lame Nambar Tarbala Keche Zamyang Nota Mege Chizen Lekbara Tome Mege Ke Lame Jen La Semla Jobar Sho Kewa Kundu Yanda Lama Talme chege bella longche chen sadan lamge yente rabzone torje change gopa nyuroto sho. Back to page 92. Glorious precious root Lama, dwelling on the lotus seat in my heart, care for me with your great compassion and great kindness. Grant me the accomplishments of your body, speech, and mind. Toward the life and liberation of the glorious Lama, may wrong views not arise, not even for an instant. And through the devotion of seeing whatever he does as excellent, may the blessings of the Lama infuse my mind. In all of my lifetimes, may I never be separated from the perfect Lama. And experiencing the splendor of Dharma, may I perfect the qualities of paths and bhumis and swiftly attain the level of Vajradhara. Once again, bring in mind how your session went. Then, if your session had mistakes, and then don't just live idly, but confess and purify, and then make sure that in your next session that you'll be more mindful, and then you'll be more concentrated and focused, and then any good feeling that you have of your good session, that don't be arrogant, but just kind of be humble, and then say that, let me see if you can do better, or if you can do the same in your next session, like that. And then any merit that we have gained from, any merit of virtue we have gained from this uh, practice, then we dedicate for the benefit of all sentient beings. Page 94. Just as the heroic Manjushri realized, and Samanta Bahadra too, I will train in their examples and perfectly dedicate all of these virtues. All of the conquerors of the three times, in whichever way they supremely dedicate, I too will perfectly dedicate all my roots of virtue for the excellent conduct. In all of my lifetimes, wherever I am born, may I obtain the seven qualities of higher realms. Upon taking birth, may I immediately meet the Dharma and have the freedom to practice it perfectly. In that life, may I please the Sublime Lama and practice the Dharma day and night. Having realized the Dharma, may I accomplish the ultimate meaning of the essence, and may I cross over the ocean of worldly existence in this very life. May I thoroughly teach the sublime Dharma within the world and never become disheartened or weary of accomplishing the benefit of others. Through working impartially for the vast benefit of others, may all beings attain Buddhahood together. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi 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 Om. Oh, alalahu, another day of accomplishment. Today is the 24th day of our mind training. So congratulations, everybody. And we did 1,400 of the refuges today. So please keep log of that one. So tomorrow we'll begin the last 4-day session of the contemplation on the special characteristics, the special qualities of the advantages of these endowment. So, any questions? 324. Yeah. So maybe in 2 or 3 days we'll be done with the fourfold refuges, and then we'll have to continue with the main refuge from the Ngondro. So get used to that one. You memorize it, because that way it will go faster. So memorize it, and then and then also chant or recite in fast pace, like on the beat, like so. Then we'll have to do about 70 or 80. Yes, that's like 81,000 of that one. That will total to 111,000. So. No questions? Okay. No questions, then we'll end, and then maybe next time I'll have the white sur, and then we can do white sur together. Yesterday we did Rio Sangche, and then sometimes we'll do white sur, sometimes we'll do the water offering, sometimes we'll do the pungtor, it's the Torma offerings. I don't have the text translated for the pungtor, but for the water offering, and then the white sur, the red sur, and then the Dharma protectors and all of those I have. So, and then some aspirational prayers. There's certain aspirational prayers that needs to be recited. So we'll make sure we get all of those included in the additional prayer book. Mm-hmm.
Kempo, when does one do red sur?
Red sur is done usually at dusk. But since we're doing this breaking into 4 days, so then we will just kind of visualize that it is evening. Usually red sur you cannot do in the morning, so I guess we cannot do red sur, can be only done, but you can learn to do it, and then maybe during your evening you can do, because red sur is for those malicious and those who inflict harm, and those who crave karmic depths, and who are waiting for, they say, those who crave for flesh and for karmic depths, all of those. So to them to pay back, then you do this red sur offering.
So if one has those obstacles and or those elemental energies in one's environment or neighborhood, what can one do?
Yeah, you can do practice like that. Main thing is your intention to bring benefit. It's not just to remove your obstacles in a selfish way, but in general for their karma.
Liberate.
To purify their karma. And then you give them teachings, these spirits. And so for main thing is you're practicing generosity, making offerings of these wisdom nectar. And then as they come to receive the wisdom nectar, then you gave them teachings, and not to harm others, but to cultivate bodhicitta, and then engage in virtue, and to tame their minds, and then that kind of teaching. And then they turn their mind towards Dharma. So thereafter they leave, they stop to cause harm. So that's how you need to think, not just like thinking of eliminating or destroying them, rather than thinking to benefit it, because you have to perform red sur through great compassion. It's not like through some kind of annoyance. You have to cultivate great compassion.
Thank you. And also, which nights of the week are you having practices or pujas? Because I lost my phone, but I found it. I had left it at the UPS store, and so I missed many emails. And all weekend I didn't have any information about anything until yesterday, actually, when I got it back.
Okay, sure. We'll send you email, remind you. The talk and so forth, we can tell because yesterday we did the 10th day. So in 5 days, in 4 days, will be so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday will be full moon.
Oh, wonderful. What time?
Sunday, 10:30.
In the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Thank you.
And
I didn't
then,
doing something last night, or I would have. I couldn't. I have a patient Tuesday night.
yeah. Mm-hmm. We need to perform a lot of soak to accumulate merit so that, all we create good circumstances and then the support of our practice. When we lack merit, then a lot of obstacles arise and then our practices don't go well. We have lots of hindrances and obstacles and loss of interest in our practice and so forth like that. So to do a lot of
Well, my conflict is I'm seeing a lot of patients, and particularly in the evening. And so it's like help people or do my practice. And so when I see my patients, I feel like I missed puja and practice. And when I do puja practice, I feel like I'm putting off my patients. How do I get around that?
Yeah, you can mark your calendar and then not take patients during those talk days. So
Yeah,
that
that would be helpful if I can mark it in advance rather than find it the same day and not to reschedule.
yeah, sure. And also there are apps like lunar calendar apps that we usually follow the lunar calendar app, like the Tibetan calendar and so forth.
It's
So
called just Tibetan calendar because I have one. I think it's called Group Show. It's more like it tells you every day if it's good Tibetan astrologically aspects or not, or a day when you could.
yeah, those it will tell you whether the days are compatible for doing things or not. But main thing is to find out the auspicious days so you don't miss the talk. So yeah, then
So
that
what
way,
recommend?
yeah, just whichever calendar you use, just make sure you remember the auspicious days like Guru Rinpoche Day, full moon, Dakini Day, and new moon.
I don't think I have that calendar. I think mine is mainly astrology, Tibetan astrology. So,
Yeah, search for Tibetan calendar. You'll see that.
okay. Thank you.
Is yours, is it the Drukpa calendar? Is that your app?
Are you talking to me or Kempo?
To you.
I have to look.
Because I have
yeah.
one that shows that daily astrology, but it has an option to look at the whole month. And on that little window, it will show you which days are Guru Rinpoche Day, full moon, new moon.
Thank you. Is it kind of like saffron and burgundy colored?
Mine has a sort of yellow background. It's called Drukpa calendar.
I think that's the one I have. And sometimes it shows you pictures of llamas and it will say, okay, we have the same one.
There's a little button on the bottom that says it's sort of a monthly view. Rather
on
than
the bottom left or right?
It's sort of just on the bottom.
Okay, I'll play with it. Thank you.
I hope that works.
The days for puja. I didn't realize the full moon was Sunday. Wow, it's coming so quickly. Thank you.
Kira?
Yes.
Tibetan Treasures also has a Tibetan calendar where all of the days are marked for you.
Oh, thank you.
You might enjoy that.
Awesome. Is it digital or paper?
I believe it's paper, sweetie, but I don't know if they have a digital one. You could check.
Paper is fine. Thank you. I will check. And where can one get prayer flags?
Also in Tibetan treasures and incense and all of that. Check their webpage.
I will. Thank
Oh.
you so
Thank you, Kempola.
Okay.
Thank you, Kempo. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Okay.
Bye.
Stay well, everybody. Take care.
Have a
Okay.
great day, Kempola.
Bye bye, and see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. And the
Bye.
next evening is Sunday, Kempo,
Yes.
at 6:00. Oh no, you said 10:30 in the
Yeah.
morning.
10:30.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.